So I'm just using like a regular size baking sheet. I use one that has sides on it because as they're baking, they're gonna, like the butter is gonna start to melt through it. And if you use one of the just like flat pans, then it's gonna drip off of your pans and make your oven a complete mess. I've never made these without the parchment paper. I don't imagine that it's 100% necessary, but it gives you easier cleanup and like a real even bake to where like the bottom isn't too dark or anything. So get my big old sharp knife, and I don't want to drag it before I've cut all the way through, you know, because you don't want to mess up your nice circle, or your nice lines rather. So I'm just going to show you with, so I've got that one cut into eighths. I just take my knife and slide it under and just lift out the cut piece like that and just put it over on my pan. If as you're dragging it out, if the edges get all wonky, all you have to do is just take your knife and just kind of slide it across just to make sure that those edges are nice and smooth. So see, one more time. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'll back up. You just slide your knife under, and it usually picks up like pretty clean. And then I just set the knife down and just kind of go like that, give it a little. But see, like typically speaking, unless your dough is way too wet, which isn't like the worst thing in the world. You can still bake them even if you added like way too much cream. It's just that getting the knife under there and then transferring them, if you get them too wet, that's the part that's kind of tricky. And that's where you'll need to really kind of do this number to shape them up. But this one I actually kept pretty dry. And that is kind of the goal, is to keep it just wet enough that it's all staying together, but not, so if it's too dry, it's gonna just blah, 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 blah. That's the technical term. Blah, blah, blah. And then if it's too wet, you know, it doesn't want to stay together because it just wants to kind of form into this like shapeless mound. So then I'm gonna stick them in the oven at 400 degrees. I'm gonna do them for 10 minutes first. It's a convection oven, so it's not super necessary for me, but for most people, like with a conventional oven, you're gonna do them for 10 minutes, take them out, you know, rotate the pan, put them back in, and do them for another like 8 minutes or so. And that's all it is. So sorry that the videos are disjointed and took forever to get to you, but I've been having a tough time getting into work and having enough time to not just plow out a million things, but to actually make a video and be focused and stuff. So I hope this was helpful. I love you, cousin.